Hi, my name's Rachel Andrews. Welcome to Everyday Athlete. On this week's video, I thought I'd tackle the kind of sticky topic of why people won't necessarily share their swim spots. The media's absolutely awash with outdoor swimming and how great it is for you. Whenever we look and we see pictures, people look just so contented or happy. They're smiling, they're laughing. That's almost the hallmark of outdoor swimming. So not surprisingly, everyone fancies giving it a go. Well, nearly everyone. But when they join an outdoor swimming Facebook page or something, you pop up a question as to, I live in whatever town, where's good for outdoor swimming? It's often met with a completely stony silence. Let's dig a little bit into that to see why that might be. The first thing I want to say is don't take it personally. It's absolutely not aimed at the individual who's asking. People are protective about the places that they swim because they are their happy places. They are often areas of very beautiful scenery. They're very peaceful, they're clean and tidy, there's lots of animal and wildlife there. Something that I really enjoy about outdoor swimming is being in the water on my own and just enjoying the watery sensations on my body and just a moment to be alone. You don't often get that nowadays, away from phones, away from interruptions, away from your delivery driver at the front door. So it's a time where you can be absolutely peaceful and really get some thinking space. So introducing lots more people to that can be problematic. You might be thinking, but protect from what? I'm only asking because I want to join in and I want to go swimming. But I think people are worried about the word getting out. We've seen scenes of Bournemouth Beach and lots of other places in the summer last year when there were huge crowds of people going there because frankly we weren't able to get anywhere else. So all of the holiday crowds and then the beaches were strewn with rubbish. So people are concerned by litter in an environment such as this. They might be concerned by things like bank erosion and also maybe access issues. So some of the secrecy surrounding the swim spots could be to do with the fact that people are getting in there and have been doing for a long time without anybody really batting an eyelid or asking them about permissions and that sort of thing. So it might be on a kind of tacit agreement with a landowner, and people are worried that getting too many people into the same area could spoil it, and nobody wants to be the one who lit the touch paper that stopped the access to their swim spot. Another reason might be that people feel that it's not their secret location to give away, that they haven't done the groundwork that it takes to find a new swim spot. They haven't studied the map, they haven't looked in all the guidebooks, they haven't looked at Google Earth, and they feel that although somebody has shared that spot with them, that it's not theirs to give away and to share onwards. Another reason for reticence in answering a query on social media about whether or not somewhere is a good place to swim, or in fact where is a good place to swim locally, is that although the local swimmers are probably a very welcoming bunch and have got lots of nice ideas for places to dip, you can't really explain the nuances of a dip via a social media post. And if you do, you suddenly get inundated with more and more questions about the specific location. Things like the hazards, the times when it's best, whether that's to do with the tide or the flow, how you'd find out about the flow, and any underwater obstructions. Those are things that are really difficult to put across, and people are worried that they're going to put the person who's asked into some kind of danger, or that they're going to get themselves into a bit of bother on the basis of a snippet of information gathered off social media. So we've taken a little look there at some of the reasons people might not give you any information, but there's certainly some things that you can do to help yourself to find out about a local swim spot and possibly to get a better response when you try to get information for swimming. Something I'd strongly recommend that you do is to get in contact with any local swim groups that you can find. Usually, if you post up asking about swim groups, people will answer with a few different names, and you'll be surprised how many there are locally, almost certainly. Another place you can look is the Outdoor Swimming Society website, and they keep a log of ones which have affiliated to them. Once you've joined the site, make a habit of checking in and looking at what people are, where people are posting about, and also answer any calls. If somebody's asking for a swim buddy on a given time or day and you can make it, take the opportunity to go and have a swim with someone who knows the area. That way you will gradually increase your repertoire of swim spots without ever having to ask overtly where they are. Another thing that you can do is to start looking for your own swim spots. You might be wondering what I'm doing walking along here when there's so much mud, but I'm actually checking it out, and I'm looking along this track to see if there's any big debris that when the tide's up, and you can see how high up it comes, whether I'll be able to swim down this problem free, and I'm pretty sure I can. So starting your own investigation really buys you brownie points with swim groups and swim buddies. So take a look in Ordnance Survey maps, take a look on the internet, looking at where you suspect there might be a body of water, maybe zooming in on Google Earth or something, and get a really good look. And also take it out on the street, go get some fresh air and go for a walk. Take a little look at the area like I'm doing here to see whether you think it might be suitable. Now, not all rivers will reveal and unreveal on the tide like this one does here, because this is an estuary and it is tidal. But you can certainly get a look in to see if there's much debris floating around and whether it looks interesting enough to go further with your investigations. What I'd also suggest is that you start thinking about the questions you'd like to ask about the place once you've been there, so that when you put up a post on social media and you say, I've been looking at this place, but I'm not very sure there seems to be an obstacle there. Does anybody know if it's dangerous? People will appreciate that you've put in the effort to get a good look at the place and that you started your own investigations, and you're likely to get a much more positive response, perhaps to somebody offering to join you and show you around. On occasion, you might be wanting to swim somewhere where you're not a local. But I tell you what, I do have a tip for that as well, because it worked for me. So I used the same rules as I've just done there. I took a little look. I saw there was a place I fancied going for a swim somewhere near to where I was working one weekend, and that place turned out to be Janet's Foss. Now, Janet's Foss is in the middle of the Dales, and I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos and images on social media posted by Les and Stuart of the Dales Dippers, as well as Johnny. They really are a very social group. So I posted up an event on the Dales Dippers, and I said, does anybody fancy coming for a waterfall night swim, which they call a light 'em up? And lots of people said yes, they'd enjoy it. And a group of us went down there, met at the top, had a walk down. What a lovely sociable evening that was, way back when we were allowed to meet in groups. What I've done, I've linked below that swim so that you can see just what a load of fun I had with a bunch of strangers off the internet. I hope you'll try again at posting on social media, but that you'll put a little bit of effort into what it is you're actually trying to ask and be more specific, and hopefully you'll get a much more positive response. So whilst it might have been a new swim spot you're after, the likelihood is you might get a 2 for 1 and get some new swim friends too. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video, and then if you have, you give it a like, drop me a comment, and also consider subscribing to my channel. There's lots and lots of information on it. Check out all the different playlists I have on my channel page, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.